IELTS Part 3 discussion topics. It is about patience and politeness. The first question is, what do you think patience is? According to me, patience defines our personality. It helps us to get respect and maintain our self respect and extend our love and care to others. And most of the situations, if we keep quiet, maintain silence, we could avoid a lot of hiccups or problems or any kind of misunderstandings or arguments, I believe. Anything before we do with a lot of patience, if we analyze the do's and don'ts or the pros and cons pertinently, we could avoid a lot of problem. I think it is mandatory, which is really lagging with all category of people in the current scenario. Yes, I really agree with you. And I would like to know in what kind of situations that you will lose your patience. Well, it is a good question to a person like me. Honestly speaking, I'm a person who never tests the patience of others. At the same time, I really get perturbed if someone tests my patience continuously for irritating or wantonly to rake up my mood or anything. In general, I just look into the person who is wantonly nagging me or disturbing my patience or peace of mind. If I come to know that this particular person wantonly doing it in order to make me perturbed and lose my temperament, I literally ignore. I just give a smile and walk away from that place. But certain situations, I see to that I teach a lesson for such kind of people in order to test their patience, to make them lose their patience and understand how it could irritate anybody who is minding their work. So generally, I mind my work. I'm a peace and a fun-loving person. I'm an amiable person. I would like to deal with all the matters patiently without any kind of hasty decisions to disturb the happiness of others. Because I don't like to regret later. I always think and act. I wish to lead a peaceful and happy life with one and all. That's good to know. The next question is, do you think you are a patient person, but there are situations that could make you to lose your patience? I think this particular question also connect to the earlier second question. Honestly speaking, I meticulously plan and execute things both in personal and professional life. I don't have too much patience to wait for a long time for certain things. It depends on the necessity. The patience differs. For example, if any of the public sectors are in common places where we can access public places, if it is testing our patience, like because of a flight or any kind of vehicle delay, and because of that it is disturbing our normalcy, or we need to get into some kind of problems, definitely I see to that in what way I can mention about it to the higher authorities to act on it immediately in order to not to waste the time of others. Certain situations, yes, of course, I need to have a lot of patience. For example, if I'm waiting for any of the results, I have to have patience for it, and certain practical things, yes, I implement. Well, have you ever, lost your patience recently, and have you regretted for it? I think all the questions are interconnected. Most of the time, I lost patience and regretted because of the outcome. I never say, because right from the beginning, all the questions I'm answering, and I'm such a person that I never lose my patience. I just analyze the things in a calm and composed way. But certain situations, impulsive decisions need to take. For example, if we are waiting for a bus or public transportations, and if there is a delay unnecessarily and there is no proper response, and when the mob gather together questioning, and they just want me also to participate as a common man, even I have to show my anger. So in such kind of situations, I never say that I'm a common composed person. I see to that in what way, along with the mob, we are getting justice. So, like this in public places, utilizing the public transportations and public access, a lot of times it happened. Well, the next question to you is, are you a polite person? Well, I think patience and politeness, more or less, it is. Intertwined, I could say, because if I'm a patient person, I have a lot of patience. Definitely, I could be calm and composed. I would be addressed as or looked after as a polite person. Since childhood, I have been taught to respect and be polite to all, not only human beings, animals, and birds, extending our love and care if it is possible. And to some extent, yes, I be polite, especially when I speak to older people or even younger generations or those who are younger than I see to that in what extent I can express my politeness in order to get my work done, rather being short tempered or losing my temperament. And so I be a diplomatic person. So I think my politeness varies based on the situation. So more than polite person, I could say I'm a diplomatic person. Well, who taught you to be polite? Definitely the credit goes to my parents, because both my parents are polite, humble, with a lot of love and care and affection. And I'd seen them handling any kind of critical issues with a lot of discussions with both of them in a patient way instead of arguing or fighting. So that I had seen since childhood. Automatically, it has been imbibed. I have learned how to deal with even critical issues. For example, I'd seen my parents discussing about the financial situations or children education or planning for some kind of things. Both of them sit together and discuss, and they make a note of a list of things to do, how much money or what is the time need to execute, and each person how much they have to physically and mentally contribute for that particular work. So yes, that polite way of dealing with the things, even with neighbors and family members or relatives, even with we the children, our parents were always polite. Though we had made some kind of mistakes, they just made us to sit and make us understand what went wrong, how we have to maintain the dignity and decorum and the basic etiquettes. Yes, obviously the credit goes to my parents. Well, I would like to ask you the last question in the third part. Is it important to be polite? Yes, to some extent, I could say that being polite will define our personality as a refined and gentle person, but it matters the situation. For example, if there is any kind of critical situation, decision making, or where you have to show your anger in the right way. In such a situation, I'm a polite person, diplomatic person, so I will see to the pros and cons and giving chances to escape from that situation because it is not bothering me. I don't want to get into super. So such kind of things I really don't ever do, and I maintain good relationship and understanding with one and all, either it is family or friends or in my workplace, and I make myself approachable. And to some extent, if someone asks me some kind of doubt or clarification, and if I have that knowledge wisely, I would share with them. And I never demotivate or belittle someone for their inability or disability. I see to that in what way I could help that person to overcome. Even in my neighborhood, if I come across any kind of street animals or birds suffering for water or food or having some kind of illness, I see to that I call the Blue Cross, what way I could help her. So my politeness is maximum. I'm a very polite, kind and humble person. I never want to show my anger or my mood or temperament to others to disturb. Literally, I love to avoid any kind of hiccup or disturbance or turmoil or traumatic situations. I would like to come out of it, help my near and dear also to come out of it. But certain inevitable situations would be testing time. It matters. Well, you have answered very good for all the questions. Thank you for your participation in part 3.